They don't pay us to think. They pay us to know. We know we can beat them. There's no excuses why we shouldn't. Win the game, period. W's on 3, man. Let's go. W on 3. 1, 2, 3. W.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sistren. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report, week number 5 edition. And I'm going to tell you right now, fellow brethren and sistren, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this one here in week 5 on Monday night on the road versus the Saints, it's personal. And I don't like to get personal. Don't take it personal. I don't like to take the bitter with the sweet. I don't like to take business and mix it with my feelings. Okay, you got to separate the two. You got to be able to compartmentalize. So generally, I take my feelings out. Because when you start making picks and decisions with your feelings, sometimes you can make irrational decisions. But I've got nothing but the utmost confidence in the fellas to go out and carry out a hit, a personal hit on the New Orleans Saints in week number 5. And nobody's going to give us a chance. We like it like that. We like it like that. We like it like that. We like it when they say, no, you can't win this game. They're going to tell us we can't win. We like it like that. It's when they tell us we're supposed to win, that's when we make an ass out of ourselves. Just like in week 3, they told us, I had some Redskin fans say, Lou, how could you? How could you pick the Redskins to beat the Packers in the bad match? Because I know my fellas, I know my boys, and I know when they're going to go out and do what's needed of them. And I knew they were going to take care of business versus the Packers. Just like I know they're going to take care of business for me in week number 5. Number of reasons why. Number 1, the Saints think they're going to have a old-fashioned Mardi Gras party to celebrate Drew Brees breaking one of the legendary records in all of the National Football League. He's about 200 and some odd yards from breaking the all-time yardage mark in the league, and he's going to break it. He's going to break it on Monday night. One of those records that you pause the game, you stop it for about 5 minutes, let him wave to the fans, hold the ball up, wave it around, and he says thank you 16 times. They throw the ball off to the sideline, that's heading straight to Canton. One of those type of records. So they think they're going to break that record, and they're going to chum it up, and they're going to talk about how good it, and Drew Brees is one of the GOATs. Don't get it twisted. And he deserves this moment. But we deserve to crash the damn party. You know why? Because last year, when we were on our deathbeds, and look, we didn't have a lot of hope. At that moment, we thought the season was over, but we showed up and we played anyway. Played so well that we had a 15-point lead with 3 minutes left in the goddamn game, and Drew Brees saw fit to not only erase the 15-point deficit in just a matter of 3 minutes, but take it to overtime and put a 7 on our skull and send us home packing at 4-6 when we could have got back to 5-5, heading on Thursday night against a lifeless Giants team that we would later go on to beat. We win that game. We go to 6-5. Who knows where the season goes? They also took Chris Thompson from us last year, which definitely ended our season right there in that spot. They owe us. They stole from us last season. So this year, we're coming back to collect and claim what is ours. Dignity, self-respect, pride, and most of all, we here to hand out some good old-fashioned revenge. And we all know revenge is a dish best served cold, and the fellas are going to be cold-blooded on Monday Night Football. I love it. But before we get to that, how are you guys doing, man? Hope you enjoyed the bye week like I did. It's the most stress-free week you'll have the remainder of the season. When we don't play, it's a great day. I get to exhale, watch everybody else fail, and not have to worry about the fellas going out and doing something crazy. Well, that shit is over with now. Redskins are back on the clock, and from here on out, Redskin football every single week. So I hope you enjoyed week number 4. And we needed it. I didn't think that we wanted an early season bye. I hate early season byes. But by the looks of things, boy, did we need it. I didn't know just how banged up we were, but Trent Williams had, and you guys told me this, and I didn't want to believe it because Trent was a guy that doesn't like to have surgery, but he had some minor surgery. There's no such thing as minor surgery. They cut you open, it's surgery, and that shit takes time to heal. So I don't know what Trent Williams are going to get in week 5, if we even get Trent Williams in week number 5. But he had to have surgery to clean up some stuff. You got Morgan Moses, Momo, down with a concussion in week 3. Hopefully he's out of the concussion protocol and ready to go on Monday night. Glad he gets the extra day. Hopefully he's ready to rock and roll. We're going to definitely need him in that football game. Paul Richardson was dealing with a shoulder injury that almost kept him out of week number 4's contest, week number 3's contest versus Green Bay. And we needed him. He made a big play early in that game to jumpstart the offense to 28 first half points. So even though he only had one catch, it was an important one catch. So good to know that this bye week is going to allow him to heal up and be ready to go. I did not know Adrian Peterson was dealing with an ankle injury. Yikes. Who knew? What would we do without that guy? I don't know. I shudder to think at the prospects of not having 26 in the backfield. He was dealing with an ankle. Hopefully, he's ready to rock and roll on Monday. I suspect he will be with this extra week off. Same can be said for Josh Norman, who pulled up lame with a hammy at the end of the Packers game on the very last snap. He said he's fine. Again, you can tell me that you're fine because you want to believe in your mind that you're fine. Hamstrings don't lie. I hope he's fine. So we got a number of injuries, man. So I'm hoping that this bye week served as a reprieve for these guys to get away, get the treatment that they needed, and come back ready to rock and roll for the entire season because we're in it for the long haul now. No more breaks. You may get one of these, you play on Thursday, don't play again until Sunday type of deals where you get an extra couple days off, but then you got a short week that you have to play, and so it balances itself out. Regardless of the fact, we don't have any more bye weeks. We're out of those. So hopefully guys are able to stay healthy for the long run. Nonetheless, let's get into week number 5, but before we do, let's take a look back at week number 3 and the win over the Green Bay Packers.
Redskins bow and go.
So we jump into the bow and go quickly, and if you were on the channel last week, you saw that I did something a little different, and it's something I'll be doing for the remainder of the season, and that is some exclusive Patreon content. If you're interested in that, if you don't know what you need to do, holler at your boy. Whether you do it through the channel or you do it through the website or you do it through the email, which is at Louie or LouieTNetwork@gmail.com. Or whatever way you decide to hit me up, whether it's Twitter, whatever. But that Patreon exclusive content will be up on the Patreon site. $5 donation will get you that Redskins breakdown each and every single week of the week's film from the past week's game. Talk about some of the strengths, the weaknesses of the Redskins in that particular game. And that's something that I'll do on Patreon exclusively for the remainder of the season. If you want to bump it up to $10 in donations, then you'll be able to have access to the list and the also the power rankings that I do on Patreon as exclusive content as well. So just keep that in mind if you're interested. But all I was doing was giving you a little tidbit and a little snippet of what that would be like if you were to give the donation on Patreon and what you would be getting if you did that. So just keep that in mind. But the Packers game, the first half was fun, man. We were sunning and funning in the first half. 28 first half points, 4 drives resulting in touchdowns. One that wasn't a touchdown that we got credit for. Great. You know, Adrian Peterson did not get in the end zone on that last touchdown right before the half. I'll take it. I'll take it any way I can get it. We caught some breaks. We talked about that already. Aaron Rodgers wasn't himself, but he was a good enough version of himself to scare the hell out of us and potentially leave FedEx with a win, if not for about 5 drop passes and some costly mistakes by his teammates. Again, I'll take all of it. And I can tell you this, after watching week 3, Jonathan Allen is coming. You need to look out for Matt Ioannidis. He leads the team in sacks, in case you didn't know. Matt Ioannidis is the most consistent defensive lineman we have. But Jonathan Allen looks like he's got superstar written all over him. And he's coming. All right? And I talked about that on the film study, and I showed you some clips of Jonathan Allen using those hands and showing why the Redskins spent the first round pick on him and why this guy was considered a top 10, top 5 pick at one point, and how we got lucky to get him at 17 or 16 or wherever we were when we drafted him 2 years ago in the first round. And this guy is going to be the real deal. I'm excited about him. How about we get something from Kerrigan and Preston Smith, though? Love to see the showstopper and P. Boogie show up and start giving us some outside rush and help this interior rush that's starting to look damn good. Along with, you know what? Pernell McPhee hasn't been that bad. I actually was impressed with him in the Colts game, not so much in the Packers game, but nonetheless, we need some pressure off the edge. This would be a great week to get it because we know Drew Brees is capable of carving us up. All right, now, to me, this isn't the Drew Brees explosive, dynamic offense of old. I think they've got some holes in their offense, but they're getting back a major piece. Speaking of which, we got the win versus Green Bay. We went into the bye week at 2-1. We're feeling good. Great win, and we're in first place. Who knew that the Titans were going to take care of the Philadelphia Eagles? So now we're in first place. Big matchup, both containing first place teams. Let's go from the bow of week 3 to the go of week number 5. And we find ourselves talking about this Saints game on Monday night, and I think this is going to be one hell of a matchup. 2 first-place teams, as I mentioned. Saints at 3-1, leading the NFC South Division. Redskins at 2-1, leading the NFC East Division. And no matter what happens in week number 5, before our game, whether all the teams in the division win, we'll still be in first place because we only have 1 loss, and we look to keep it that way after the Monday night game has met its conclusion. And so let's talk about what we have to do to get this dub versus the Saints. So I'm looking at the Saints team this year, and the Saints last year defensively were outstanding. And they burst onto the scene. They surprised all of us. You had Marshawn Lattimore playing out of his brains as a rookie. Cameron Jordan was ridiculous getting sacks. And they just played out of their gourd last year as a collective unit. They were much better defense than we thought they were going to be going into the season. This year, they had expectations of picking up where they left off, and they have failed to meet those expectations. They stink again on defense. And I watched that game versus the Giants. The Giants stink on offense. So the Saints may have gained a little bit of faux confidence in that game, but I'm here to tell you that's a false positive. If they got any confidence out of that game, we're not the Giants, okay? They stink on offense. They can't protect. Eli won't push it down the field. They're dinking and dunking. We're not having any of that. And oh, by the way, the Giants can't run the football. I've watched Tampa Bay shred this Saints defense. I watched Atlanta shred this Saints defense. And I watched the Browns, when they had to have it, move it down the field on this Saints defense. We can move the football on this Saints defense, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, all right? If we play our game, we protect Alex Smith, we stay ahead of down and distance, we stay balanced, we run the football, we can do what we did in week 1. We can do what we did in week 3. We want to avoid what happened in week number 2, and we can avoid that by just doing what we do best, remaining balanced and running the football and going off of that, staying ahead of the down and distance and taking shots down the field when they present themselves. And we're fully capable of doing that against a defense that will allow us to do that. And their pass rush is solid. It's not earth-shattering. It's not game-changing. Cam Jordan is a difference maker. Have to block him. You let him loose, he will get to the quarterback and bag a quarterback. But nobody else on that defense scares me. You know, Marcus Davenport still coming along. He'll flash every now and again. I'm not afraid of that young man. Maybe down the line in week 7 or 8 or 9, where he really starts to get comfortable, maybe he'll become a dynamic playmaker for them. Not right now, he's not. So I'm not worried about him. Lattimore and the rest of those corners, any of them can get it at any time. Not a single one of those boys are standing out this year. They can get it. Any way they want it, they can get it. Jay Reed, JC Ice, hell, I don't even know if Doxson is even in the building. If the Doc is in the building, I can't tell. But it'd be nice to see him show up, perform a little service, maybe perform a little physical or two, and get the hell out of Dodge. I'd love it. But the last time we went to Doc on a Monday night, you saw the results. So I'm good with going to P. Rich. I'm good with going to Mo Harris. I'm good going wherever I got to go, VD, wherever. Chris Thompson, we got to get surgical with the backside of the backfield, so be it. We've got enough weapons to make it happen on Monday night versus a defense that can't stop a wet paper bag, folks. They can't. So I'm not worried about the offense. Last time I said that, we went out and we laid an egg against the Indianapolis Colts. I feel confident we'll be able to move the football in this game, though. What I'm concerned about, and you should be too, is this goddamn Saints offense. No, they're not as explosive as they were last year, but don't tell that to the goddamn Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 1, even though they gave up a boatload of points. They still scored 40. They just gave up 48. Don't tell that to the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, the Falcons scored 37, but the Saints scored 43. So they can still score. And oh, by the way, they scored 21 in the fourth quarter versus the Giants. They had 12 points, and went off in the third quarter. 3 Alvin Kamara touchdowns in the fourth quarter, rushing. And they get back Mark Ingram, a huge part of their offense. They go from a one-headed backfield to a two-headed monster. And we saw the damage that two-headed monster did last year. And Ingram, is chomping at the bit to get back into the thick of things and tear some shit up. He's got 4 weeks of pent-up energy to unleash on our ass. So if we come out with that soft-ass run defense that we saw at times versus the Packers, at times versus the Colts, and hell, the first possession versus Arizona, we in for a long goddamn day. A long day. So those wide-ass splits that I talked about on the film breakdown, that wide 9 where the ends are way outside of the tackles, crashing in, that shit has got to cease. We got to close those splits. Because if those gaps are that big and they're taking advantage, man, we're going to have a long day on our hands. Because both of those backs can give it to us any way you want to get it. So I'm looking forward to the Redskins making a much more concerted effort to stop the run. And I hate to say this because we know he's capable. But you got to make Drew Brees beat us. The last time we went to New Orleans and we had those boys, and if you want to crown their ass, crown their ass. But we let them off the hook. What we did was we controlled pace of game. We controlled that game start to finish. Drew Brees and that offense, and they were much more dynamic last year. They never got into an offensive rhythm until the end of the game when we allowed them to because we played soft. Gave it up, and they got into a rhythm, and before you knew it, we were on the defensive instead of on the attack like we had been the entire game. We've got to do that again. We've got to keep them off the field, whether that's by using our offense or, look, we got to be much better on third downs. Look, don't let anybody lie to you and tell you that we're a top 5 defense. We're not a top 5 defense. Don't buy the hype. Now, I love the way we're creating turnovers. We've created at least 1 turnover in every single game we played this year. So I love that. Love it. But what I don't love is the fact that we're giving up some yards on the ground. Yards per carry, that shit is high right now. Way too high for my liking. Those yards per carry way too high. We need to cut it. We need to cut that shit. That's number 1. Number 2, we still ain't getting that pressure on the quarterback, right? We still ain't getting that pressure on the quarterback. And this is the wrong week to not. Now, Drew Brees is a smaller guy. And there's nothing worse for a smaller quarterback than interior pressure, which we can provide. This is a great week for the interior pressure of Ioannidis, Payne, and Allen to step up to the forefront. It'd be so nice if Kerrigan and P. Boogie joined in on the party. It'd be so nice for those guys to just jump in. And whenever you're ready, fellas, we're ready. The interior defensive linemen, they're ready. Okay? They're doing their part. Whenever you're ready to jump in and get into the fray, we're here, man. We're ready. You just say the word. Whenever you're ready, we're here. But we know that they've got a beast receiver in Michael Thomas. And last time I checked, Josh Norman, not the Josh Norman of 3 years ago. All right? Hell, he might not even be our best corner anymore. If you ask some people, he's not even our second best corner anymore. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Fab Moreau, he's coming. You remember Let me ask you this. Do you remember the first full season of Kendall Fuller? Remember that rookie year, he was like kind of inconsistent. He was a little here, a little there. You saw flashes, but he wasn't quite where he was the following year. That's where we are with Fab Moreau right now. He's coming, man. Fab Moreau is coming. Yep, this year we're going to get some spotty coverage at times. You're going to get some PIs. He's not going to look back for the football sometimes. We've saw that already this year. But the man is going to make some plays. I'm telling you right now, we got ourselves a steal in the third round. And we knew it when we drafted him. Because if he didn't tear his pec at his pro day, the man was a first-round pick. He was a goner. Long gone before the third round. We got a steal in the third round. And that young fella is balling. He's filling that Kendall Fuller role beautifully. Now, we need Josh Norman to step up. We need Norman to step up and play his game. Because this week versus Michael Thomas can take over a goddamn game by himself. I watched him do it. I watched him in week 1 versus Tampa Bay when they were getting their ass slaughtered. Say, all right, put it on my back. I'm going to bring us back. 19 catches in that damn game. I seen the man do it. I think it was 19, might have been 16. Either way, stupid number. Dumb. The man set a new NFL record for the most catches in the first 3 games to start a season off. So if we're not smart in our principles, if we're not communicating in the back half, he will tear us a new asshole. And Benjamin Watson may be 87 years old. His ass is still putting in work at the tight end position. And as you know, we've struggled with the tight end. Green Bay had a great opportunity to get it to one of their tight ends 2 weeks ago. And we got lucky. He dropped the football. Benjamin Watson ain't dropping shit. So we better be on it. We don't have to worry about plays being extended like we did with Rodgers with Breeze. But we got to get to him. We don't get to him, Breeze will set that damn receiving, the passing yards record. He'll set that shit in the first half if we're not careful. That's a third quarter, mid-third quarter record. If we play our game, that's a mid to late third quarter, early fourth quarter record. If we playing like some shit, he'll set it in the first half. So we better come with our A game because even though that offense isn't what it once was, I don't think personally, they're starting to get it. It's starting to come together for them. And we know at any time Drew Brees can light you up for 40 at ease. With ease. And Kamara, he's a problem. He's Chris Thompson on steroids. You know this. I don't have to tell you this. You already know. You already know. I don't have to tell you that. You already know what he's capable of. He did us last year. We owe these boys, man. Damn it, man. I want this one. They owe us. Speaking of which, let's get to the final outcome. It's the final outcome. Whoa, yeah. All right, so this is a game. Look, throw all of that Monday night bullshit out the window. I know a lot of you have that whole bias. Oh, Redskins stink on primetime. Look, that's at home, all right? For those of you unaware, we don't struggle on the road. We don't always win, but we don't make an ass out of ourselves on the road on Monday night or primetime for that matter, for the most part. It's when we go home, we look like straight ass cheeks on primetime television. Well, guess what? We don't have any primetime games at the crib. The NFL got smart. They understand that if we put these boys at home, they're going to wet the bed. So let's not do that this year. If they're on a primetime situation, let them be on the road. Cool. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with going into somebody's house and totally disrespecting them in every facet of the game. And that's what I'm looking to do on Monday night versus Saints. I'm looking to go into New Orleans. Drew Brees is going to set that record. They think they're going to have fun and have a party. Fiesta. They think they're going to have a party? No! We shutting that shit down. Now, things have to happen. Got to take care of the ball, 1. Got to get it after Drew Brees, 2. Got to stop the run, 3. Nice to force a turnover, 2. 4. And 5, we've got to remain balanced, take care of the football ourselves, And most importantly, you get in the red zone against a team like the Saints, who we know can score 30 with their eyes closed. You better score touchdowns and not kick field goals when you get in the red zone. Just like we did against Green Bay. Got to get in the end zone. 28 first half points. That was fun. That's not something we're accustomed to, but that was fun. A lot of fun. I'd like to do that again. This time, though, I'd like to see better production from us in the second half. I went back and watched that Packers game. What I failed to realize, because it was in the moment, it was so upsetting. We didn't have the ball that often in the second half. The defense did a poor job of getting off the field versus Aaron Rodgers and company. That first drive of the third quarter took up like half of the third quarter. It was like a 7.5 minute drive. Like, that can't happen against the Saints. Got to get off the field. We were horrible on third downs versus the Colts. That shit can't happen in this game or we will lose. Period. Got to get off the field on third down. Best way to do that, set up third and long situations by stopping the run on first down. Got to tackle well. There's a lot of things. I could sit here and go on and on and on. But bottom line is, hey, D-Hop, don't piss me off by missing field goals in this game. Make your field goals. You get in the end zone when you get in the red zone. That's a key. Take care of the football. Be nice to force a turnover or two. All right? And look, when the opportunities present themselves, take full advantage. If Drew Brees gives us an opportunity for a pick, it can't hit the ground. We got to pick it off. If we create a fumble, got to follow it, find a way to fall on it. We can't throw opportunities away because this team is too good. They're 3-1 for a reason. All right? These boys are not playing around. They smell blood in the water. They think they can get back to the NFC divisional round and this time win and get to the championship game. They're not playing around. This is a great measuring stick for us. If we're serious about making some headway in the NFC conference, these are the types of games that you got to find a way to win. I'm not satisfied with playing them tight like we did Kansas City when they were undefeated last year in a similar spot on the road, and we came back and everybody was patting us on the back. Oh, you're going to be a good team this year. That was a really close game. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it. Either we win or we lose, but I ain't trying to lose. Damn that. They owe us. They took something from us last year. I just want my payback. And payback's a bitch. And guess what? Revenge is a dish best served cold. And the boys are going to be cold-blooded on Monday. I'm taking the Skins, baby. That's right. Skins. Monday night. 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row. Down. Down goes Breeze. Down goes Saints. Yeah, he's going to break the record. Yeah, he's going to hold the football up in the air. Yeah, he's going to thank the crowd 15 times. And then when he's done, we're going to bust that ass. Go get the win, fellas. It's there for the taking. It's there. They think they're going to get Ingram back and they're just going to run up the score on us. They're going to run the football down our throats. If we allow that to happen, they will beat us. I guarantee it. But if we stop the run, and when I say stop, I don't literally mean stop. How about slow it down? They can't have 4.7 yards a carry. They can't average 5.3 a pop. If they're averaging 3.1 or 2.7, got their ass right where we want them. Now they're in 3rd and 8. Now they're in 3rd and 11. Now they're in 3rd and 7. Got them. Now you got to get off the field on 3rd down. But I fully expect the fellas to take care of business. I have confidence that this group is different. This feels different. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of y'all may not believe yet. This feels different. I don't know where this is going. But this feels different. It feels right. We're going to find out just how right on Monday night. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will die. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. You know what the drilly is. What the deal with that, though? It ain't banging. Fellas, I don't have to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. bring home the dub. I will see you guys immediately after the proceedings of that football game for Monday Night Football overtime. See you then.